There we go. Oh, hello, hello. Put that up. There. Myself some props here. What is this strap for? If you have, like, we use it for a few different things. You can use it if you have tight legs. You can also use it if you have tight shoulders, depending on what we do, and I kind of just wing it, so I always just have you guys get it just in case. What's that? Short. Like if you're not as good as she is, you can't lift your leg as well, then to be in this class, you all should be able to put your legs behind your head.
Yeah.
No way.
I can't even stop mine.
That's a leg right there.
That's 12 maybe.
I don't
Okay, like my friend.
Next week, we'll put our legs behind us. All right.
I think Josh said something about asking you to help him. You have your hands or
Yeah. Fun fact, these classes that I'm teaching right now are the first group of classes that I've ever taught where I don't teach people how to do headstands and handstands.
Oh.
It has been challenging for me to cut that out of my practice.
Why?
Most of us are
Why do they do that?
two beginners or.
That's hard. Because I like to teach it because it gives people this amazing like confidence boost. It's exhilarating like you wouldn't believe. Like I got my mom into a headstand, I don't know, 5 years ago or so. And she came down and she's like crying, like, you know.
Right.
And it was just, you flip your whole world upside down and you get a different perspective. But I could go on and on about the mental benefits for it. But the physical benefits of it are that, and I talk about this in some of our poses, but they're called inversions when you get the majority of your muscles up above your heart.
Yeah.
So you strengthen your circulatory system, you strengthen or make your lymphatic and nervous system more efficient, a whole bunch of stuff. And it's challenging at first because obviously it takes a lot of arm strength, but it also takes a lot of core strength. And so it kind of brings you into this new challenge of like, okay, how do I get my body to do this if I'm upside down? Because you can look at somebody and you can say, okay, take your eyes closed, left foot out to the side and back and blah, blah, you know? Pretty easy to, you got pretty good spatial awareness, you know what's going on. When you get people upside down, they're like, okay, move your hips back. And they're like, which way is back? What am I doing? Where am I in space and time right now? So it's pretty funny. But I love it. I love teaching inversions.
Feel free not to do this class. I can't even get my butt in the air, never mind.
Yeah, if any of you are interested, you come and talk to me at some point and we will figure out a time to work on that. But I probably won't add it into this class. If they give me an intermediate class, then I will absolutely add it in.
I would love to do it, but I don't.
I think I'm
right there with you. Not ready yet. I could do one where you go up against the wall.
Uh-huh.
I've seen, you know, like glance through YouTube and stuff like that. Magazines.
Well, that's another reason why I like to use the wall for a lot of my beginner stuff. And just like everything else, I have modifications for everything. So I have gotten people upside down who are like, not in a million years are you going to get me upside down? Yeah, you just wait and see. All right, let me get people checked in here and we'll give a couple extra minutes for your friend to arrive as well.
Yeah, I know. She's such a. What was your name again? Kathy. Kathy. Okay.
Cassie.
Oh, Cassie with an S?
Yes.
Okay.
I had a friend that was supposed to meet me here too, and she's never showed up.
Oh, there's nothing here.
Yeah, a coworker, I'm like, still haven't seen you.
Yeah, there she is. Hey.
Still haven't seen
Here, let me move so you guys can
Okay.
see. What's that up around? Oh, way back row. Way back row, and then you guys can slide up.
You could be the front row people.
I'm sort of bad, so I have to get back anyway. Or what do you do?
My sign-in is giving me some trouble, so I am happy to let you guys settle in.
I'll get her stuff for her.
Thanks, Terry.
I think here.
So you must be Faith then. Okay.
Faith, I'm Terry. And there's your stuff.
I always do the same thing. I was like, is it lined up with the? Floor?
Oh, you're with the floor? My name's lined up with the floor, but you know.
How are you feeling then?
I'm feeling okay. I ate boiled eggs. I was talking to Josh about a quick way to get protein in, because I come home from water circuit and I eat right away. If I don't eat by 2 o'clock, I get sick here. I can't eat before this class.
I can't, my husband does one meal a day.
I'm almost done getting everybody signed in.
What?
I get faint, kind of lightheaded if I go too long without something.
Well, you can serve your meal or your one day meal.
Now on Friday, maybe on Tuesdays now, he either eats. before
I don't mind, and I would rather have you get fresh air in. And a lot of times, if you're feeling weak or anything, you know, I'd rather you be able to breathe.
Oh, I forgot my mask again.
I wouldn't worry about it at this point.
I know I'm way
The
over
doctor
here.
I saw
I feel
yesterday
naked.
said that it is in Deer Park, because it was in Deer Park, he said it's skyrocketed.
Oh, that's about everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere.
All right. So a couple things for you guys just starting out with me. If it's uncomfortable to sit like this, sometimes tight hips or, you know, just crisscross applesauce, whatever was comfortable for you. And if it's uncomfortable, you can always sit up on something, but it looks like you guys are pretty good to go. Yeah, you are getting closer. I encourage modifications for everything because I'd rather have you in correct alignment than to try to strain into a pose to do it how you think it's supposed to look or how it's supposed to like be like. So I'm going to offer modifications through the whole class. Take any or all of them that you'd like, just so that you're not having any pain. So in yoga, and in my opinion, in any of your fitness, you should always have a point of discomfort, maybe, because we don't grow without a little discomfort, right? But you should not have pain. If you feel any sharp pain come out of a pose, feel free to take breaks anytime you want. And ask questions. If we're doing something and you're like, I don't know, just raise your hand. Emily, I need something else to do. This one's not good. So, and if you want something harder, ask me as well, because I will guide it up or down for pretty much anybody. Now we're going to begin by closing the eyes, finding a comfortable seated position, and taking deep breaths in and out. Bringing our awareness into our bodies, into our senses. Giving our inhales and exhales a count of 4 or 5 so that we can start to even the breath and slow it down. We breathe exclusively through the nose. In yoga, I know there's a lot of sinus things going around, so if If it's not possible, it's not possible. But if you can breathe through the nose, this is going to help you slow the breath. It's going to help you warm the breath. And anytime that you feel your mind start to wander to things that are outside of this room, bring your focus back to the breath. Practice being present. Bring the air into the bottom of your lungs with each inhale, feeling the ribs expand. And exhaling fully, getting rid of all the air from the bottom of your lungs, any stale air. On the next exhale, lower the chin down to the chest. And inhale as you start creating circles with the head, rolling slowly past one shoulder and back. And rolling past the other shoulder and forward. Continuing to move around, stretching the tight spots around the neck. Linking the breath with the movement. You'll inhale as you roll back. And exhale as you roll forward. And switch direction. Next time the head comes down with the chin at the chest, stay there. Interlace the hands and place the hands on the back of the head and allow the arms to grow heavy. Still sitting tall with the spine, taking deep breaths to feel the stretch go into the spaces between your ribs. Bringing the stretch from your neck into your mid-back. And without taking the hands away from each other, we're going to slide them down so the pinkies are right at the hairline at the nape of the neck. And inhale as you look up to the ceiling and reach the elbows towards the sky. Feeling a slight stretch on the front of the armpit area. And then release all the way down. Yeah, that's the thing that happens. So people racking the weight. Now bring the left hand behind you on the mat. Right hand comes to the left knee. Inhale as you sit tall. And then exhale as you pull the belly in and twist to look behind you. Taking this first twist gently, bringing it all the way up the spine. Inhale to release the twist. Switching sides, right hand behind you, left hand to the right knee. Inhale to sit tall. Exhale to pull the belly in and twist to turn to look behind you. inhale to release the twist. And bring your hands in front of your legs here. If this is a good stretch for you, you can stay here. If you want to bring this forward, you're going to walk the hands all the way forward. You're going to walk the hands to one side. And to the other side. Return back to center, walk the hands back in. And if you're sitting with your legs crossed, you're just going to switch which side is in the front. And you can just repeat what we just did like that, okay? So with the opposite leg in the front, you may find that it's a little bit more stiff. You may find that you might not be able to go as far. So again, you're just going to start by placing the fingers in front here, and then walk out until you find the stretch. Walk the hands to one side. And walk to the other side. Come back to center, and then walk the hands back in. Now bring the arms out to the side. And we're going to start with small circles forward. Now medium circles. And big circles. We were doing this earlier in my class, and I had my blocks near me. And I was knocking them all over the place. It was crazy. Right, come back to center here, and we're going to start our backward circles. Small to begin. And then medium. And then big circle. And come back to center. We're going to transition into tabletop. So you can do this by rolling over the ankles, or swinging the legs out to the side. And in tabletop, you're going to find the knees directly below the hips. The wrists will be right below the shoulders. Fingertips wide spread apart. Inhale to look up so the belly dips down for cow pose. And then exhale as you tuck the chin and tailbone in, pulling the shoulder blades apart to round the back for cat pose. Inhale back to cow. And exhale to cat. And continue moving between the two poses on your own breath, at your own speed. Keeping the movements fluid as we move through the flexion and extension of the spine. And come back to center. All right. Terry?
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of focus on hips a little bit, so obviously anything that you need to not do, don't do, and if you want a
He gave me
modification,
the
let me know.
clearance to keep moving, but I will watch.
All right, don't push it. Okay, we're gonna bring the right leg out to the side with the knee bent. and make circles with the right knee. And switch directions. Bring the right knee back down. Left leg comes out to the side and start some circles with the left knee. Switch direction. And relax. Curl the toes under and press the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Your knees can be as bent as you need them to be here. The idea is to keep the upper body long and straight with the head hanging between the arms. And then we're going to walk our dog by bending one knee deeply and then the other, letting the hips move, working through the flexibility here, stretching our calves, starting to work our hamstrings, bringing movement into our feet. And then come to a still space. Inhale as you look up between the arms and walk the feet up to the top of the mat. Exhale into standing forward fold, letting the knees be slightly bent here, letting the body hang over the legs. You can widen your legs if you like. Now let the head hang and take both opposite elbows. Gently sway the body from side to side for ragdoll. Come to a still space. Release the arms and inhale as you sweep the arms up to standing, reaching high for upward facing hands pose. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right. I am going to have you do something today on that is a little bit intensive on your knees. So if you want to grab any extra mat or a blanket back there to cushion underneath your knees, you can do so now. And then just go ahead and grab a strap and put it right by the side of your mat so that it's handy in case you need it. All right. That'll be a good placement for that. Terry, you're going to want to bring it maybe back closer to the center of your mat. There you go. Perfect. All right. So you guys at home, you guys got plenty of stuffed towel or anything else. If you don't, and you are in the middle of it, and you're like, oh, I want a little extra cushion, you can always fold up the back of your mat, right? We're going to inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, big swan dive down to standing forward fold. For standing forward fold, you can either leave the legs straight and let the body hang, or you can plant the hands and leave the knees bent as much as you need to. Inhale to halfway lift, making the back nice and flat like a table. And then exhale as we bring the hands down and take a big step back with the right foot, bringing the right knee down to the mat, uncurling the back toes, and pausing here to sink the weight into the hips, encouraging the body weight forward. And then you can bring your front foot up a little bit higher so that you have a nice firm grounding underneath your heel. Good. Now from here, you can either use your hands on your legs to come up, or you can use your core strength. The arms can come all the way up, or they can stay at heart center, or they can stay on your leg. So choose any of those three options, whatever is going to be more comfortable for you. Allowing the body weight to sink into the hips, feeling the stretch on the front of the hip flexor.
There it goes. Okay,
Was it the hip or knee?
that was
or-
the knee.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna bring the hands down to the inside of the left foot for lizard pose. Feel free to stay here, or you can come to the outside edge of the left foot. And you can even add a little bit of movement, a little bob into the leg. Work on opening the hips. All right, bring the left foot firmly back down. And this is what we're gonna go into our next stretch. So you can opt out of this if you want. I'm gonna show you the full pose and then I'll give you modifications. So the left arm reaches back, right leg comes up.
Nope.
And you hold on to your foot or ankle,
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
okay?
Yeah.
That is only gonna be accessible for a few people.
Yeah.
So-
Rear ankle, big on it.
I'm gonna come around and help you guys get into this. If we're holding it too long as I get people into this, please feel free to relax. But the strap is gonna go around the foot and you're gonna reach back with the arm. Now here's the trick. If you're using the strap, I want you to try to have a straight left arm instead of torquing on the shoulder, right? Uh-huh. All right, you're also gonna reach back with the opposite.
Oh, the other arm?
Yep.
What? How do you use it? Oh, you're right, I cannot reach.
She's bringing it to you.
All right. Here, let me help you fix the strap. There you go.
Okay.
All
I
right.
got it?
Now you can bring this foot back a little bit further. Perfect.
Oh, that's way better.
Way better.
Okay.
Like I said, you guys can release this at any point because I'm gonna be waiting for me for a little bit.
You got it.
Okay.
Still leaning forward.
Yep, still leaning forward.
You're putting it around the ankle?
Yep, around the ankle.
This on?
Yep, perfect. Just like that. Got it, Karen. How does that feel for you?
I think it's short enough here.
Can I help you?
Sure. Okay, I need to strap. There we go. I think that's what
There.
should be right.
Perfect.
You said you wanted the arm straight?
Yeah, ideally the arm will be straight.
Okay.
Master's degree then.
All right. One more breath and then you can release. Okay. Now slowly come out of that. We're gonna lift the back knee. You can let go of the strap completely. And we're gonna step forward.
Not
And come down into standing forward fold.
I think that
You guys can get further in the ground though.
Yeah, I feel like I got farther down too. Legs are getting longer already, good.
At least the one.
Inhale to lift halfway up. And then release the hands. We're gonna step back with the left foot. Big step back, left knee comes down. Getting your strap all prepared, Terry.
Well, I was trying to, but then when I moved it,
Better? Yeah. All right. So we're pausing here just like we did on the other side to get
Oh my
into
gosh,
your-
it was like I haven't stretched in forever.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Oh, man.
Once you have a good foundation here, we're gonna ground through the right foot and lift up into crescent moon lunge. You can keep your hands on your thigh for balance. You can keep them at heart center, or you can lift up. All right, Cassie, I'm gonna have you bring your front foot back a little bit further. Trying to do the splits on me here. We're not there yet.
Oh, that's why it's so hard.
All right. Now we're gonna bring the hands down to the inside of the right foot. Okay, you can always use your blocks if you wanna bring the floor a little closer to you. For lizard pose, if you took this option on the other side, you're more than welcome to take it on this side by rolling to the outside of the right foot, letting the knee come out to the side, bob into this leg a little bit, adding some movement, opening the hip. Carly, you might be able to bring your foot a little further forward.
I sprained this foot 5 months ago, so I'm wondering if that's why it feels so different than my left one.
Right. We're gonna bring the right foot back down firmly, and here's our stretch. Okay. So again, back leg lifts up, right arm reaches back, and I'll come around to help you guys with your stretch.
I got this, what do you call it?
Cramp?
Yeah. Trying to do this. Just for my foot.
Yeah.
All right, where's the like my belly cramp?
Okay.
Oh, you need to do this more.
We should make this part of the curriculum more often, I
Thought
think.
I had it in place so I wouldn't have to.
This one's a tricky one, even I always have trouble kind of getting myself prepared into it.
Oh, I was using stuff in sleep.
There you go. You got it? Yeah, you got it.
Uh-huh.
How's that feel on
Hey, look, I think I got it.
you?
Me
You
too.
have it.
Look at me.
Yeah, I got my big toe. Don't hold longer than you need to, okay?
Okay, good thing.
Yep.
Moving on.
You're not gonna tell me 5
I
minutes.
did it.
Okay, I have this on.
5 more minutes, Jerry. Which side are we on here, right leg?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys can release if you haven't already.
Got it. I'm ready.
All right, take one more breath and then release. Okay.
Got it.
Now our legs are gonna be super long,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're gonna step forward. Exhale into standing forward fold.
Oh, I feel better with the cramp.
Good.
I wonder if Tuesdays are harder because there's more days in between the sessions.
Definitely could be the case. Inhale, reach all the way up to standing. And then exhale, hands at heart center. What is today, Tuesday? I was thinking it was Thursday when you said that. I'm like, oh, so today's easy then.
Yeah.
Let me ramp it up for you.
Yeah.
And we're on our heads and going next. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, swan dive down to standing forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, step back with both feet into plank.
Oh, yeah.
And release all the way down the mat. Press the tops of your feet down into the mat to engage your legs. Oh yeah, you can remove your towels or blankets. Press through the palms with the elbows close into the body as you can get them. You're gonna inhale up into cobra pose, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And then come into tabletop for just a quick break, because I want to show you guys a couple things. You can stay in tabletop, you can relax back on your heels. There's a couple real basic poses that we're going to go through every class. So I'm going to demonstrate the correct way for cobra, and I'm going to demonstrate a correct way for downward dog. I know I've gone over this with you guys before, so this will be just a refresher. I won't take forever on it. So cobra pose. Now, if you're like me, before you really got a breakdown of it, you thought that cobra pose was this.
Yeah.
right?
Your elbows.
My pelvis is off the ground, my shoulders are up by my ears, my arms are locked. Not correct, my low back hurts. Okay? What you want to do with cobra pose. Now, when I guide you guys to press down with the tops of your feet, it lifts my kneecaps, and what that does is it engages my legs so that my low back is not doing all the work. And when I come up, I keep my pelvis down on the ground and only come up as far as my flexibility will allow. So unless you're a contortionist or you've done a lot of gymnastics or anything else, you're not going to be able to straighten your arms while keeping the pelvis down. We want to keep the elbows close in instead of bowed out. And we also want to keep the shoulders down away from the ears instead of up, okay? The last little tidbit that I'm going to say is something that I tell you guys every time, is you're going to try to pull yourself forward on your mat. This is going to be challenging, right? But you're going to feel the stretch move from here up to here. Yeah. Okay, it's going to take the workload of your back bend and spread it through the back instead of localizing on that one small part of your lumbar spine. All right, so that's cobra pose. Downward dog. Hamstrings and calves are typically very tight for people. Okay, so what I don't want to see, and I know you guys, I'm going to show it from the side too, so you'll get a good example, but I know I've gone through this with you guys before. I don't want to see this. Okay, you see how my head is above my shoulders and I'm not in a straight line above my hips? What I want you to do, if your legs are tight, bend your legs and allow your upper body to be straight. Eventually the heels will come down, but that usually takes months or years of practice, okay? Unless you're gifted with flexibility naturally. So just as a reminder for you guys, this was the no-no. This is better. Okay? Notice how I'm not craning my neck like this. Unless I'm looking at you guys. Yeah. My ears stay between my biceps. My head is nice and loose. Okay? Good. All right. So let's start by laying on our bellies. Press the tops of your feet down into the mat. Press the palms down and inhale into cobra pose. Exhale through tabletop and come into downward facing dog.
Doing it that way, I felt it a lot more in my pelvis.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Now we're going to inhale and lift the right leg up and open the hips. Exhale to bring the right foot through to the top of the mat. This might take several steps. However you can get there is fine with me. Left foot grounds. I'm going to inhale into warrior two. Okay, so as long as we all meet here, that's good. So face switch your arms around. Good. All right. Now your right leg, your knee is right over your ankle. Left leg is straight. You're drawing a line back with the front foot to the inside of the back foot. Once you get the legs situated, reach front and back. Okay, hold for a couple breaths.
Couple is two, right?
This one.
Yeah, we're going to come.
You can come out of this for any breaks.
Yep.
And then you're going to bring your toes a little further back so it's more parallel to the back. Perfect. All right, this is the one that is bothering you, so however you can make it work is fine, okay? Yeah, shorten your stance. All right. And then I want you to shorten your stance as well, too. Okay. Flip the front palm face up. And we're going to reverse our warrior by tilting the upper body back, keeping the bend in the front knee. Left hand can brace against the back leg, or it can be suspended. Come back to warrior two. Bend the front elbow and place it on the left or the right knee, and reach the left arm up and over the diagonal. So the left arm is up above your ear. Palm is facing down. So this is where that body awareness comes in. All right? Yeah, socks are difficult with that one. How are you doing there?
Oh, not bad. It's balance is a little off.
Balance, yeah. All right. Are you able to bring this hand back further? Not? Oh, okay. Yep. All right. Now inhale back to warrior two. Oh. Yep. Take a deep inhale. Exhale to bring the hands back down to the mat and step back into plank. Now we're going to work on plank for a moment. So if you need to modify, you can bring the knees down, you can come to the forearms, whatever you need to do here. Hold it for as long as you can and then modify or come out of it. We got 10 more seconds.
Oh. Glad I started modifying early.
There you go. No shame in modifications. Yoga's never a competition. Release the knees down and press the hips back for child's pose. The big toes can be together, the knees apart. Let the body sink between the legs. Forehead resting. Take a couple deep breaths. Start to slow the heart rate. Lift into tabletop. Curl the toes under and press the hips into downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up to the ceiling to open the hips. And then left foot comes to the top of the mat in between the hands. Grounding the right heel and coming up to warrior two. Front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Back leg is straight. There you go. All right. So the front knee is right over the ankle. Good. Now we held warrior two for a good few breaths last time, so I'm just gonna stand here with you guys, working on our strength. Flip the front palm face up. Now tilt the body back into reverse warrior. Other way, Carly. Return to warrior two. Left elbow goes on the knee, right arm reaches up and over at a diagonal. Okay, so try not to sink into this shoulder, right? You want a nice supportive base there. There you go, perfect.
hit this back, his elbow. I broke my elbow a long time ago. Oh, it's not straight.
Can you shift this shoulder back though? There you go. That's much
But
better.
then arm isn't straight.
That's okay. Arm doesn't need to be straight if you can't do it. All right, come out of it. Come back to warrior two. Are your thighs burning yet?
Yes.
All right, good. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step back into plank. And release all the way down to your mat. Inhale into cobra pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. A few deep breaths here. On your next inhale, look between the hands and slowly walk the feet up to the top of the mat. And exhale into standing forward fold. On your next inhale, stand tall, reaching the arms up high for upward facing hand pose. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to work on tree pose next. So if you'd like some support as we balance on one foot, you can move over to the bar here in the room or over to the mirror. Wherever you feel comfortable with supporting balance. If you feel like you want to challenge yourself, then you can stay on your mat. Yeah, sounds good. If you're not holding on to something, your hands will be at heart center. And we're going to begin by grounding through the left foot. So lift your left toes up, spread them apart, and relax them back down, giving you the biggest base for balance as possible. The right foot, you can either kickstand the heel to the lower leg with the toes on the ground. You can bring it all the way up to your calf, or you can bring the foot to the inner thigh, as long as it's not pressing on your knee. That's all I ask. Once you have found your tree pose with your legs, you can keep your hands where they're at, or you can grow your branches up. Finding a spot to focus on the floor is always helpful, especially if some of the trees around you are blowing in the wind.
All right, I'm focusing on your foot, so.
10 more seconds. And release. All right, give that standing leg a little shake out or a roll. All right. Other side. So again, if you're not holding on to something, you can have the hands start at heart center. Lift the right toes up and spread them apart, relaxing them back down. And then the left foot comes to your version of tree, whether it's kickstanded on the calf or on the thigh. And feel free to grow your branch. And 1 second. and release. There you go. It's all about the mind, right? Not my foot, though.
Oh, yeah, I know.
All right, we're gonna stretch our feet out a little bit. So we're gonna begin by coming to the back of our right foot, stretching for just a moment, switching sides. Back to the other side. And switch. Okay. Now, see if you can lift just your big toes up. Then release down. Now lift all your little toes up. And release down. Big toes. And release.
Oh, I feel like they're
Getting together better than alone.
And then
Oh,
big toes. And release. One more time, big toes.
Whoa, I can't do it.
That's why we're working on it. And release.
Yeah.
And now big toes, or little toes, one more.
That's pretty good. I need to do.
And release. So the more we can move our feet, the better balance we have. Not just when we're trying to balance still, but let's say we want to go down to the river this summer and cross over the rocks, and we've got moving rocks, and we've got dirt that falls out from underneath our feet. This is going to help you keep your balance. What's that? Yeah. Everything that we do to help our feet is going to help us to not fall, and it's going to help us to not get hurt if we stumble or if we step on ground that's a little uneven, right? This goes for the ice outside too. You slip a little bit, you got your feet underneath you that are solid and mobile and strong, you're less likely to fall and eat it. Told my son yesterday, I was like, he came out of the car and he's like, woo, and I was like, you just about ate it. He's like, eat what? What am I eating? The ground with your face. All right. Okay, this next thing we're gonna do, we're almost into our cool down. I wanna have you guys do a core exercise. I know I've done it with you guys at least once before, but I'm gonna demonstrate it for you guys to kind of see before we go into it, because we'll all be laying flat on our backs and you won't be able to look at me. So I will have you come down onto your backs, and everyone should be able to feel a space under your low back when you get there. What we're gonna do with this exercise is we're gonna engage our bellies, tighten our core, and try to eliminate that space beneath our low backs. So it's not gonna look like much, but you'll see that my pelvis slightly shifts and my belly presses the low back into the ground. Now, what we're gonna do as we do this exercise is we're gonna hold that tightness. We're gonna try to keep that space eliminated for 10 seconds. Then you're gonna release and do it 2 more times. Okay, so go ahead and work your way down onto your mats. And just kind of notice that space before you do the exercise. Notice this is a space that we're supposed to have. That lumbar curve is what helps us walk upright. Okay? Yep, so take a deep breath in and press that space down, engaging your lower abs, tightening the belly, holding it for 10 seconds, and then releasing. Do that 2 more times on your own count. Okay. So I think everyone should have had the time to do their rounds. You're going to bring the soles of your feet to the mat. With your knees bent, your heels are going to come close into the hips. Bring your right ankle over the left knee. If this is a good stretch for you, you can stay here. Otherwise, you're going to bring your right arm through the legs as you lift the left foot off the mat, holding onto or interlacing your hands behind the left thigh. If your hips are real flexible, eventually you may be able to interlace your hands on the front of the left shin instead. You want to make sure that your head and shoulders can relax down. Feeling a real nice stretch here in the back of the hip, into the thigh, and into the glute. On your next exhale, lift the head and shoulders up, bringing your body a little closer to the legs, and then release. Both feet come down to the mat. Allow your knees to sway from side to side a couple times to release some of the pressure. Come back to center and bring the left ankle over the right knee. Left arm reaches through the legs as we lift our right leg off the ground, interlacing our hands possibly on the back of our thigh or on the front of our shin. Whichever modification or option you need for this. Working towards relaxed head and shoulders down onto the mat. On your next exhale, lift the head and chest up, bringing your body a little closer to your legs. And release down. Again, let the knees sway from side to side a couple times. And then bring your knees into your chest, giving them a squeeze. Bring the arms out into a T. And let the legs fall to the left, allowing them to relax down. If you need help anchoring the legs down, you can bring the left hand on top of the thigh. If you want to bring this twist deeper, wrap the top knee around the bottom knee. Slowly come back to center. Squeezing the knees in before returning the arms out back into your T and relaxing the legs to the opposite side. Again, feel free to rest the hand on top of the thighs to help anchor them down, or wrap the top knee around the bottom knee to take you deeper into this twist. Slowly bring the legs back to center. You can make any other small movements that you would like. If you want to relayer any clothing, you can do so. But otherwise, we're going to relax down into our final resting pose, our Shavasana. Allowing the legs to roll open naturally as they come down straight. Settling the shoulder blades underneath us and allowing our arms to rest by the body with the palms facing up. And close the eyes. Inhale deeply through the nose and exhale through the mouth in a sigh. Take one more cleansing breath like that. With the eyes closed, begin to feel a softness in the brow as you release the muscles in your face. Feeling the softness spread down into your jaw as you unclench the teeth and allow the tongue to fall away from the roof of your mouth. Rest your shoulders and arms down onto the floor and let your hips and legs feel fully relaxed, almost weightless. And feel, imagine a warm, glowing light coming from your heart center, full of love and compassion and patience. And let those things flow within yourself. Compassion for yourself, love and patience for yourself. And after it fills every cell, let it start to outflow through your fingertips and toes so that it can reach everyone that you care about. Be coming around to do a gentle shoulder press to help you relax. If you'd rather not have that today, place a hand on your belly. Otherwise, allow yourself the next few moments to be completely free and relaxed.
Slowly start to move your fingertips and toes, bringing your awareness back into your body. And reach up overhead, giving a long stretch from fingertips to toes. And then gently bring your knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze and roll to your side to take a few moments in the fetal position to appreciate all of your efforts and accomplishments today. And then press up from the side into a seated position. Inhale to lift arms all the way up. And then exhale, bring the arms around you for a big hug. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me tonight. The light in me honors and respects the light in all of you. Namaste.
Namaste.
We went a few minutes over, sorry. We got started a few minutes behind, so couldn't leave you hanging.
I wanted to try.
That was awesome. Thank you for coming.
Emily?
Thank you so much, guys.